Hello everyone and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. Now, according to a new study, there has been a huge rise in the amount of young people now suffering what's called a quarter-life crisis, with a third having undergone therapy and a quarter having been prescribed antidepressants. But of course, still in the lead are those having a midlife crisis, with more Brits aged 35 to 44 saying that they feel lonely or depressed. So what is in the mind of these kind of people? What are they going through, and what is a midlife crisis for those that don't know? So if you are having a midlife crisis, it's probably because you've kind of realized that you haven't maybe achieved what you've wanted to achieve, either in your work or in your personal relationships as well, and you're getting a bit depressed about it, and you're wondering that, you know, have I wasted time, and what am I doing with my life? So that's a person that is going through a midlife or quarter life crisis. But why are so many people going through this? Now, joining me on the sofa tonight, I have some lovely guests. We have founder and director of Resco, Rashid Aslam, who will be telling us about his own midlife crisis and how he got through it, and also Eleni Bekele, who also had a crisis of her own. And as a special treat, I also have Richard Townend and the Mighty Boss Cats. They're here to discuss the positives no matter your age, and they'll also be performing at the end of the show, and I'm really looking forward to that because I heard them performing before and they are great. And we also have a Chrissy challenge today, so that's going to involve some speed, so I'll be showing that after the first break. But first of all, let's speak to the lovely Bianca Clayton, who's here with some new stories. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Chris.
How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
What do you think of tonight's topic then that we're going to be talking about?
Well, I'm in my 20s, and it is a difficult time, I would say, for quarter life crisis and midlife crisis. But I mean, for quarter life, I would say that the things that sort of cause it, from like, is sort of like, it's hard to get into. It's like hard to sort of like raise money for housing. It's hard to get into education. And money is, I think, a huge issue, huge area that causes it, I think. And there's a lot of pressure as well. Like, people are finding it hard getting jobs, getting houses. So I think when you get to the age of about 25 to 30, you feel that you haven't really achieved what you wanted to achieve at that age. You haven't really got maybe the education, or couldn't afford the funding for education that you wanted, and you haven't been able to get maybe start a mortgage or get on the property ladder. So it's quite like depressing, upsetting to get to that age of your life and you feel like I haven't really accomplished what I wanted.
Relationships as well aren't what they used to be.
That's another big one, isn't it?
Because you get so many like single parent families now, and a lot of instability in families. It's just not the way it used to be, and I think sort of the further we get with life, it's like the worse things seem to be getting, and there's no family values anymore. Things like that, I think, are breaking down as well, and I think that's also causing problems with the generations that are coming. And I reckon it's just going to get younger and younger, because you hear of children getting depressed nowadays as well, don't you?
Exactly.
I got depressed when I was 16 for like years. So it's like, it's just happening younger and younger.
It's happening so much younger now, isn't it? And a huger scale as well. So many more people are being affected as well.
But you don't have to stay like that, because we're going to prove that to you tonight, because we are going to be helping our viewers tonight. So tell us what's in the news.
Yes, so this week, Chris, this bank holiday we had the Notting Hill Carnival, and I went to it on Sunday, and it was a lot of fun.
Is the Sunday one the kids one?
Yeah, it's like the family day, so I went to that one because it's a bit more safer. I felt a bit more safe. And it was good, and it was, you know, this year I felt that I could get home a lot more easier. Normally, like, the tubes are rammed full of people, and this year I found that it was a lot more accessible, and it wasn't as busy on the Sunday. But I heard the Monday one was a lot more busy. But I think the Monday one, this is what I'm going to go on to talk about. So 3 Metropolitan Police have gone viral on YouTube at this year's London's biggest carnival. So London's carnival was as lively as ever this bank holiday, and partygoers got more than they bargained for when 3 Metropolitan Police had a dance-off right in the middle of the street.
They like to do that?
I know, I don't know.
Well, they actually because when I saw a glimpse of this photograph, and I thought they weren't actually police officers. They were just people pretending to be police officers. That, But were they real police
they definitely were the real policemen, because they had their truncheons dangling from their uniform and their proper helmets. So at first people were thinking that they were just like in a fancy dress, but they were actual policemen.
I don't think they were allowed to do that. They're meant to be sort of, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them having a bit of fun, of course, but maybe they're on a break or something.
I know, they might be
watching out for the public.
Yeah, but you can imagine the crowds were going crazy. They were screaming, cheering. They were loving
it. I suppose that's good for like the community relations.
It's nice,
and stuff,
exactly, definitely. That's what a lot of people are saying as well. It's good for public relations, getting involved in the community like that. But hopefully, like, luckily, there wasn't a crime going on at the time, or we don't think so, because they could have been in a lot of trouble, couldn't they?
So at least they had fun. And
I think it's really nice.
Get into trouble,
I don't know, but I hope not, because I think they should be commended for that, not getting into trouble. I think, because it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like, and everyone wants to sort of like have a bit of fun, and it's a carnival. It's all about having fun, isn't it? And like enjoying the carnival spirit. So I'm glad they did that. I wish I saw it actually. I would have probably got involved. And also the council have invested £12,000 in a new technology to create a holographic receptionist created to direct visitors to the correct part of the building and provide advice on the paperwork they need. So the hologram, played by an actress, might cause some frustration because it can only answer a restricted number of questions.
I don't agree.
Go on, Chris.
Do you know why? Because I went into my doctor's surgery the other day, and I'm not joking. I stood in front of this receptionist and I went, "Good morning," you know, because I'm quite cheerful and chirpy with everyone. And she just completely ignored me, completely. And I stood there for ages, and she just wasn't saying. And then she picked up the phone, rang. She picked up the phone.
I've had that before.
I started to get really annoyed, so I moved over to the other one, and she said, "Oh, next time you can just sign your name in at the computer." I said, "Well, I didn't know that." She goes, "Oh, just so you know, next time." But that's wrong. I was literally standing in front of her, and she just completely ignored me. I don't want to speak to a machine. I want to speak to a person.
It's going to get worse, Chris, with the machine. She's not going to know what you're talking about. You're going to be like, "Excuse me, answer me," and she's going to be like,
I really don't like that. I think human contact is so important. And especially when you're in environments like that as well. Like, imagine if you start doing it in hospitals. When you're in that kind of environment, you want someone that's sort of there that cares.
Exactly, definitely.
Because there's people that go into doctor's surgeries. I mean, I was okay. I was just going for a checkup, but there's people that are going there genuinely concerned about their health, and then to be greeted like that or with a hologram. I'm sorry, I don't agree with it.
Well, the reason why they're doing it is because they say it's going to save a lot of money. They say it's going to save 17,000 a year apparently, but some critics are worried that the cost of the reprogramming of the virtual assistant will result in a lot more, so it might backfire. I don't agree.
What our viewers think. You can give us a call if you want to let us know your views on this. 0207 686 6300. I like human contact. I don't want to speak to machines, and I want to sign in with a human being.
Basically,
call me old-fashioned, but
I agree, Chris. But I don't think it's going to work if she can't answer the question that you're asking. That's going to be so annoying, isn't it? I think the machine's going to break.
And you can't complain to her manager.
And you can't. So you go
probably to another hologram or something.
The hologram is the manager. But apparently you go and then you punch in your reason for being there and type it into the computer, and then you go over to the person and she would already know what you're talking about, or she can answer. But every situation's different, so I don't really know how. I really don't know how that's going to work. But anyway, they think things. But they use it in airports apparently at the moment, and that's the first time it's been used. But now it's the first time it's used in a council.
I don't like it.
No, I don't either. So, Chrissy, what's your favourite ice cream flavour?
Pistachio.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say something boring like vanilla. Not that I'm saying you're boring.
Yes, you are saying I'm boring. I'm not boring.
Only because when you normally ask people, they say vanilla or strawberry or something like that.
Pistachio, and I like
Pistachio's
the Nutella one as
well.
Oh, yeah,
like the Nutella.
Hazelnut.
Yeah. I like the Ferrero Rocher one, and I love the Oreo one as well. And so when you're choosing an ice cream, you don't normally you go for a meat, do you, as an answer? But that's exactly what was on offer at the UK's first National Burger Day in East London this week. In celebration, they made a barbecue burger flavoured ice cream. I know. And Chris, it came with toppings of candied bacon.
Disgusting.
And it came.
Well, I can't say that because I haven't tasted it.
Yeah, you haven't tried it, but they put. As you can see, they've been pouring ketchup on it as well. That's another topping that you can add to it as well. I don't know if is that actual ketchup?
I think it is.
Or is it a flavour of something?
That's disgusting.
That's horrible, isn't it? We haven't tried it.
I'm not agreeing with anything tonight, am I? No, I can't say it's disgusting because I haven't tasted it. Let's be fair. It might be really, really nice.
It could be nice.
Is it? Are they actually like?
Well, no.
It like.
Well, they say that, the event organiser, Jonathan Powell, said that in naming August 27th as the National Burger Day and kicking off with the legendary ice cream burger, we're celebrating the versatility of the British burger. But unsurprisingly, the burger hasn't really gone down very well with many. So Jess Walker... I don't know if our
guests in the studio, would you ever try that?
Fancy a burger ice cream?
Yes. Someone saying, one person saying, who said yes? All right, one person said yes, the rest said no.
So Jess Walker on Twitter...
See who the fun one is out of the crowd.
We should have brought some in, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
So Jess on Twitter says that it's a clever idea, but no thank you. And Kudos added, burger ice cream, whatever next.
It is nasty. Got time for one more, I think, one speedy one.
One speedy one. Okay, then this is a quick one. So... let's see. So a teddy bear this week beats Felix Bortgartner's skydiving world record. So you know Felix, who jumped out, who had a skydived, And so they've put a teddy bear up in space and he's actually beaten the record. So they were saying that a human being would never beat it, but they've tried it with a teddy bear and he's done it. That's not fair, is it?
Not really.
That is not fair.
It's not quite the same thing, is it,
Poor
really?
Felix. How's he going to feel now that the teddy bear's beaten? So he beat him by 31 metres. Not very much, is it?
Well, well, it is quite a lot, actually.
I'll be quite annoyed if that was me. Why would they do that? It's not fair.
Whatever next. Anyway, we're going to go to a quick break, and then afterwards we're going to be speaking all about quarter life and midlife crises and what causes them, and we're going to talk to two people that did go through it but now have come up on the other side. So do join us after this, and if you want to email as well, you can do so on chris@chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet. I have my iPad right here to receive your tweets as well, at Chrissy B Show. So do join us after this. Welcome back. Now we're talking about quarter life and midlife crises today, and we're going to be revealing just after this video the top 10 worries of 20-somethings nowadays, so that you might find some of them quite interesting. But first of all, let's go to a challenge, Chrissy, that I went on quite recently. I had to say I had a fantastic time, was looked after really well, and I definitely enjoyed this challenge. So let's take a look. Hello viewers, and on today's challenge I'm here with Ebony from
Sabre Power Sports.
And we're actually at the Shamrock Quay Marina, and I'm going to be doing an interesting challenge today, aren't I, Ebony? What we're going to be doing today?
Yep, today you're going to be experiencing some powerboat racing. So we're going to teach you how to drive these Honda 150 X racing boats, and then we're going to take you around a circuit, and we're going to time you both on the circuit and see who can drive fastest.
Wonderful. So you're going to do a bit of training with us first. When I say us, we've got Elisa over here who's going to be doing the challenge with me today. Say hi, Elisa. So Ebony, we've been out on the open water. We were steering all over the place. It was absolutely fantastic. Now you do different kinds of experiences, don't you? Can you tell us about a couple of them?
Yeah, we offer about 18 different experiences with about 7 different boats. The best experience we've got is probably the luxury day, which is 4 of you in a boat. We go out in this boat that you've been out in. We go across the Isle of Wight, we have lunch on the Isle of Wight, and then we do some racing like you did earlier.
And if people want to book, what should they do?
The best way to book is to go online. We've got an online booking on our website, which is sabremarine.com.
So we've completed our race. So Ebony, how did we do you think?
Well, what do you think? Who do you think won?
Honestly, I reckon Elisa did, because I felt like I took the turns too wide. I don't know.
I think Chris was faster than I was.
Take us out of misery.
Okay, well, Chris, you won.
Really?
Yep, you did it in 1 minute, 8 seconds and 90 milliseconds, but you weren't far behind Elisa with 1 minute, 9 seconds and 78 milliseconds.
That was really close. Oh wow, I'm so happy. Nice one, Elisa. That was fantastic. I keep saying that word, I should say something different, shouldn't I? That's the only one I can think to describe it. So thanks to the guys, especially Ebony. And actually, I'll be coming back soon because my sister wants to have a go as well and go to the Isle of Wight. So you'll be seeing us again very soon. So it was really good fun. So now I have with me Rashid Aslam from Resco, who went through a midlife crisis, didn't you?
I did indeed, yes.
But now you've come out on the other side and you're very happy today.
Absolutely.
But let's go through some of the top stresses that people do have. Maybe we'll do 5 of them, and then we'll talk about the rest after the break as well, before we get into your story. Yep. Now, apparently, there's a top 10 stresses for Britain's 20-somethings. The first one coming in at 38% are money worries. So, just under 40% of young Britons said money worries were their biggest concern. And 7 out of 10 said financial issues caused at least one argument a week. What do you think of that, Rez?
I can go with higher than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not surprising that financial concerns are on the height of the agenda here, because I think that's what the state of the economy is. Yeah. The compounded issues around lack of opportunities for young people, that clearly does not help. Young people being into a place where they were better established a decade ago, they are now that much far behind. Yeah. So from my very own experience, the junction where I was in life at the age of 38, I think arrives to people when they hit 25 or 28,
true, isn't it? Yeah.
Which is a real big issue. So it's going to need a whole lot more positive steps and a whole lot more dedication. Because that's what's essential in order to get the momentum forward.
I think the worries start even earlier, to be honest, as well, because I remember when I went to uni, we used to get grants, first of all. Yeah. And obviously education was free then as well. When I went to university, we didn't pay anything. So as well as not paying, we used to get money to help us as well, and obviously not have to pay anything back. It was quite a while ago now. But I can just imagine the stress, and plus I was living at home. So I had it pretty easy compared to some students now who have to pay for the education, get the not the grants, what they call the student loans that they have to pay back and everything. So it's just so much stress and so much pressure even as a student to go through all that from then, and then obviously having to pay that back once they do start working, if they get a job straight away.
Which is a challenge.
Yeah.
But there are a whole lot of avenues for help available, and I hope that if anything that we can give out today to your viewers is about some tips on self-help, because the state of mind is what I think drives someone to go into a crisis or come out of a crisis. So if you are empowering your mind and allowing yourself to take positive steps, you will definitely see positive outcomes. And I hope that is something that we can kind of touch on. Yeah,
definitely. Okay, let's see the next one. Work is also another major worry for people. Obviously, probably not finding work in the first place. That's 28%. And or maybe being in a job that you don't even like as well. That causes major stress, because there are people that have jobs, they're into something that it's not making them happy. It's not something that they look forward to when they wake up in the morning. They just get out of bed and they dread going to work instead of looking forward to it. Yeah. So that's another worry. And also we have lack of sleep, 24%. Although I wouldn't say that's a worry, that's actually like a result of some of the other things, a lack of sleep, isn't it?
Yeah, sleep deprivation can happen for a number of reasons. For example, if you have lots on your mind, when I was in my state of midlife crisis, of course, the last thing you get is a peaceful night's sleep. And what a pleasure that is to get a sleep which is really uninterrupted and it is really of rich quality. 5-6 hours of good sleep, I think, is far better than 8 or 9 hours of being in bed. And just coming back to your previous about lack of opportunities, I think on the other hand, there are so many, I think, traits of young entrepreneurs now as well. So people who want to stay behind the facade that, well, actually, we don't have opportunities.
There are, though. You make them.
Absolutely. And there are so many grants available for people who are young people who have been unemployed, who have been on job seeker allowance, for example. The Department of Work and Pensions got so many business startup loans, and there's funding available. So really what comes down to is this: are you taking decisive action or not? And if you want to see results, you're going to take control. And that's what Resco is all about. We empower our clients to achieve results. You don't have to come to us and take advantage of our 32 team members who specialize in everything, we can help you, hopefully sat here from this lovely sofa, and give you 3 things that you could do tomorrow and drive
To get
yourself
started
to a
and
positive.
changing, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now tell us about your own midlife crisis, Res, because there was a point in your life when you were like looking in the mirror and you thought, oh my God. Now, talk us up, up to what happened that you got to that stage?
Yeah, well, I still look in the mirror and think, crisis hasn't kind of gone away, but it's different now because obviously the hair implantologist has done his stuff and, things are very different and I'm 6 stone lighter.
6 stone?
6 stone lighter. I used to be, at the age of 38, I had 38% body fat, which wasn't manufactured, but that's how it was.
Yeah. Do we have some pictures? Oh, there we go.
Oh, yes. Clinically obese.
Not you.
Yeah, clinically obese. My self-perception was that this is it. This is as worse as it gets for me. And that really impacted my relationship with colleagues at work. The amount of extra time I had to spend.
That's you now.
And obviously things have
Slim
changed. And
Res.
this is how I've been now for the past 8 years. So I've pretty much
You've maintained your
I've
wellness,
maintained,
really good,
and that's one of the core values that I like to instill into our clients is sustainability. So once we have got you onto a journey of positive change, we like to leave you with that common thread that allows you to carry on. Maintaining and sustaining all the good things, because pressures in life often are such that you can very easily go back into the state of so-called crisis. Does not necessarily have to be midlife or quarter life.
But what caused yours though?
Mine was a deep unhappiness from a physical attribute.
Was it just physical though? Were there other things going on?
Lots of other things going on, pressures of work. I was working for a very large international telecoms business. I worked in a commercial environment, responsible for a big team, responsible for £1 billion budget, responsible
Which
for...
most people would absolutely love to do.
Don't take me wrong, I really thrived on that.
Yeah.
And that is a
That wasn't making
false.
you happy?
That wasn't making me happy at all. I think it was, definitely it was, impacting my relationship with my family, with my kids, with my wife. I just did not have time. I had a really nice car. Of course, it was funded by the company. I had a really nice bonus. But deep down, there was no fulfillment.
Whereas we're going to be talking more about that after the break. We're going to go to a quick break and also going to bring on someone else that also went through her own crisis, and we're going to just compare your stories as well and see.
Happens to be my client, of course. Yeah.
So to see what happened and how you overcame that. So do join us after this, and if you want to email me, you can do so on chris@chrissybshow.tv. Welcome back. Now, as you know, I'll be hosting at the Love School event on the 22nd of September, and I do hope to see you there. And if you want more information about it, there is the website, theloveschoolevent.com. Now, actually, a survey suggests that one of the main pressures faced by those in their mid-30s and upwards are relationships, with more and more people aged 35 to 44 saying that they feel lonely and depressed. So that's exactly what the Love School is all about. So if you want to join that, do get in touch with me. Now we have the lovely Eleni with us as well, joining us, who went through your own crisis, didn't you?
I did indeed, yeah.
Okay, so now you both went through it. So let's just talk a bit more about yours, Rez, and then we'll talk about yours, Eleni, as well, because it was kind of a very hard time for both of you, wasn't it? But tell us a bit more about yours, first of all, because you said the main thing was the physical aspect, but also...
Well, I think self-perception can be a very dangerous thing. It can fuel your crisis, because self-perception is not necessarily true. And my self-perception of looking at some of those pictures whilst I was clinically obese, ironically enough, some of my customers have looked at that and said, well, actually, you don't look that bad there. So there is the conundrum.
Yeah.
Is your self-perception actually fueling what you feel, or is that an isolation?
And often it does, doesn't it?
Well,
because
this is it.
Sometimes people, when you sort of complain about yourself or complain about certain things about yourself, other people haven't even noticed at times.
Precisely.
And because you keep saying it, then they start noticing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the minute I stood in front of the mirror and I smiled, and frankly, my smile was awful. It really was bad. My teeth were grotty, they were dirty. I had a motorbike accident many years ago, so I had a bridge which wasn't fixed properly. Thank God I have art dentistry in London on my books today, so all of my clients go over there, including my own teeth, you know. So that in itself, a smile was just not right. Nothing was right. And I got to a point within that phase of that photograph being taken, asking a question to myself that, is this it? Am I going to be now just there? And is that my life? And that was really depressing, a very depressing moment, because it felt that there is only a way down rather than a way up. So my instant reaction was, given that I come from a highly professional commercial sourcing background, I want to source somebody who can actually help me feel better, who can take away all of my issues and concerns and give me a program that corrects me from the way in which I feel, the way I think, the way I look at myself. And I couldn't find anybody. I found snippets, you know, of people. For example, I went and saw some personal trainers, and they did more damage to me by applying incorrect techniques. And that is also another fact, that lots and lots of injuries are caused by personal trainers who actually do not know what they're doing. Just because you've qualified does not mean that you are actually now able to work with a client who might be in their late 30s or 40s with their limitations, without the knowledge of their limitations in depth. So I was getting now worse, because here I've taken a decisive action that I'm going to fix my body. I've gone and grabbed a personal trainer in a reputable gym, and now I have chronic back pain, which then transpires into a broken disc.
Oh gosh.
So
it's got worse.
So not only I'm feeling worse as I am, I'm also now limited with my mobility. So the whole thing just fueled to the point where I said, right, I'm just not doing this. I'm just not living this way.
Before you tell us any more, let's hear a bit about your story too, just in case we run out of time. I want to make sure we hear something. So what happened in your case, Eleni?
I met my ex-husband now when I was 17. We've been in a relationship for 19 years, and similar age to Rez. At the age of 37, I found out that he was having an affair. So 2 weeks later, I filed for a divorce. But since then, it's just been downhill.
That moment when you found out, what went through your mind? What kind of emotions
there was a lot of tug of emotional war beforehand. I knew that there was something wrong with it, but never to that degree. So always fighting, and then you say to yourself, "Oh, I've already invested 14 years. Oh, it doesn't matter. A little bit more." Do you know what I mean? I have to work hard at it. It was tremendous. Betrayal. You felt low. You judging myself as to what I did, why it's my fault. Being a woman as well, you just think, oh, what is it that I did wrong? So there was a lot of that involved.
You were blaming yourself?
Oh, tremendously. Yeah. It was. I couldn't even go. I didn't have the energy to go to the toilet. I was that weak. I felt very, very weak. But eventually, well, I met Res through networking, and he introduced me to a variety of things.
What helped you, would you say?
Well, I would say, I mean, I actually looked into the exercise aspect, and then you tweak as you go along. So I felt that the emotional need was more a necessity. So more into holistic healing and homeopathy and stuff like that. Whereas you go to the GP, all they do is give you antidepressant. And I knew my body couldn't handle that, so I decided to deviate from that and went into homeopathy and lots of energy healing and lots of counselling. And I've still got a coach to this day, just to help me out with things. But it's been tremendous.
You're looking fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much.
So you know, must be doing something right, definitely. And it's not, and it's obviously it's a terrible thing to go through, especially if it's probably like one of your. Especially it's like a first relationship where you've been with someone that long, and then to find that out, it's obviously something very shocking. You are in shock, but then there's always hope. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, because you don't have to stay stuck in that situation, as you both didn't. You actually went ahead and you did it. In your case, Rez, you went and found your own way, in a sense, because you couldn't find the help that you really needed. And in your case, you also found, you know, for the counselling and stuff like that as well. But there is always hope. Don't feel that you have to stay stuck in that situation or stay depressed or think that your life is over, because it's not until you die anyway. There's always, while you're still breathing, there's always hope. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter, you know, you say you're in your 70s, your 80s and something's happened. There's always hope for, you know, for change. And you just have to keep searching for it.
I agree, absolutely.
How are things now? So you said you're still sort of on...
Oh, no, I feel about 90%, 80%. I feel great. I have all this energy. In fact, I'm a freelance, so I've been freelancing for about 10 years. Now I'm diversifying and trying to help small, medium-sized companies save money. We've got all these skills, so I might as well utilize it somehow. So
is that something that you maybe sort of put on hold when you were going through what you were going through, or is it like you've kind of threw everything out the window as well?
Well, when you're in a relationship, your energy is taken up elsewhere. So you've got your husband and all of that bit, and then your work bit. But now you've got more space to think. Why not try and help out in many ways? I mean, it could be anything. But I think a work, in a sense, creating work where there's more connection, and instead of a boss, and more of a collaboration, as opposed to the various degree of high levels or anything like that. So yes, I'm looking at that. I'm in the process of setting up my website, and let's see what happens with that.
Okay, I'm sure you're going to do well with it.
Thank you.
And Rez, only like for viewers that are watching now that say, look, I'm going through a midlife crisis or a quarter life crisis, or even younger. I think I had, what would I have called mine? A sixth life crisis? Something like that. I think I started when I was 16. So obviously I'm not 7 years it lasted, and then I got help myself. So, you know, I turned my life around as well. But there are people maybe that are watching that say, you know what, I can't see myself ever getting out of this situation, ever feeling positive about myself, ever feeling different about myself. What would you say to them?
I think there are three important things that anybody can do without coming to us. And the first one is about that self-perception. Is that really a crisis? And really taking stock of the situation and getting your peers, your close friends, your family to help you. Open up. Don't keep things in.
Yes, keep saying that on the show.
And I hope I can reach out to more male clients, because majority of our clients tend to be female clients. Because men still have this facade about being the provider or not being open about these things. And I think it's time that we do approach this in an open. So be open about it.
Rez, we've got about 1 minute to cover the other two points.
Take decisive action. Take decisive action. Okay. So when you wake up in the morning, you should know what you're going to do today.
Okay. What was the third one then?
Third one is do it.
Oh, okay. Very good. Thank you so much, Rez. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I'm so glad things are looking up for both of you. And I wish you all the best for the future as well.
Thank you very much.
And then after the break, we're going to be joined by Richard Townend and the Mighty Boss Cats. And they'll be showing us that no matter what stage of your life you're at, you can always have fun and you can always enjoy yourselves. And they love what they do. And as I said, I saw them performing earlier and they're absolutely fantastic. So we'll be meeting them after this break. Welcome back to the show, and I've been trying to get their names here because I'm a bit bad with names. So we have here Richard, Gary, Phil and Phil, And they were so nice because they sat next to each other too, Phil, so I won't get so confused. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
How
Thanks
are
very much for
you?
inviting us.
Good.
Good, thanks. Really good.
Now, we did record you earlier performing, and we're going to play that shortly for our viewers, and it was great. It was fantastic. I loved it. I wanted to dance.
You should have.
But then I wasn't sure sort of what kind of dancing we should do.
It's old time. It's foxtrot.
I was saying to Bianca, we should be on there dancing. And she goes, yeah, let's go. But you know, I didn't want to disturb you. So tell us about your band. How did it all come together?
Right, okay. So many years ago, I went to music college and I didn't have to pay for my tuition as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's good when things were free.
I know. And then I was a professional musician for quite some time. I used to do variety of people like Ronnie Corbett, Tony Christie, those old star names.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped playing. I wasn't getting the work that I wanted, and just got a daytime job. Brought up a family, and then probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I just went to a jam session, and I'd put my guitar away. I got it out, had a jam, and really enjoyed it.
Did you sort of forget about your music during that time when you had your sort of normal job, or were you always like, oh, I want to play again, I want to...
I did occasionally play. I mean, I used to play in a police tribute band called the Fraud Squad. And I've got a fantastic blonde wig.
Have you? You should have worn it today.
I should have, yeah. And then the other guys, they had their own hair, but but they dyed it. But unfortunately, they didn't realise they had to bleach it first, so they all ended up with orange hair, looking like Uma Lumpas, which wasn't exactly Sting.
Yeah.
No. More like Stung.
Never mind.
Yeah.
So what does the band do for you? Because obviously we have people that say they reached in their 20s, 30s, 40s that are saying, you know what, I'm so fed up with life. Yeah. I'm depressed. I don't look forward to anything. What would you say the band does for you personally?
You do nothing for me. You do nothing.
I do everything for you.
No, that's rubbish. Well, no, they're friends more than anything. And so it's like the Three Musketeers. Only there's 4 of us. Well, 5.
I can see you have a lot of fun together, you guys, because you're always like.
Oh yeah, we do tiddlywinks.
Yeah.
What other things do we do?
Yeah. Scrabble.
Yeah. British Bulldog. Yeah. British Bulldog, we do that.
Yeah.
Gary, let's talk to you as well. What does the sort of being involved in this do for you personally? Does it make you happier?
Yeah, I mean, it does make me happy. I mean, obviously, music's been a big part of my life. A bit like Richard, I didn't play for quite a few years, and I went to a jam one night and decided to get up and have a play, and just got back into it that way. Unfortunately, I did suffer with a bit of ill health a few years ago. I was diagnosed with cancer, so I thought, well, that's it. I'm not going to be able to play anymore. But fortunately enough, it wasn't that bad, if you like, that it stopped me playing, and I've carried on, and it sort of gives me a release and something that takes my mind off of everything.
Do you think it's actually sort of helped you with the illness and how to sort of fight it, having that sort of something fun to do and something? Because sometimes when people do get ill, I know, for example, my dad also is going through cancer himself at the minute. He has days when he sort of feels like giving up and he doesn't want to fight anymore, but we try to keep him positive and sort of focused on something. So I suppose if there are a lot of people that just kind of give up and they don't think their life's over, but then if you have that kind of attitude, your life will be over. But if you're thinking, actually, okay, I've got this has happened to me, but I don't have to accept it. I'm going to carry on with my life. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do something that I enjoy. And that keeps a lot of people going and they recover.
It does. It gives you something. It gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And obviously having the backing of my family as well. Obviously that's been a big thing. I mean, my wife, Alison, is absolutely tremendous.
Oh, do you want to give her a shout out?
Oh, she's
Look in that camera there and say,
hi, Ali.
Oh,
hi, Ali. She's been absolutely fantastic. She's backed me all the way.
Oh,
and yeah, I mean, I'm back playing now and I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
For you.
With friends.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Okay, and let's talk to the two Phils now. So what about you guys? How did you get involved and what does it do for you?
Well, I actually work in advertising, which is the midlife crisis profession. And so music's a bit of a sort of leveller for me, you know, away from all the BS. But I actually met Richard on the internet. you were talking about technology earlier, but actually it can bring people together. Because we recorded 2 songs we hadn't met before.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought he was 17-year-old blonde, you know. No,
Well,
but
I've got the
seriously,
wig. I did say I had the wig.
we
I did say 17.
we recorded a couple of songs, you know, on the, sort of virtually on the internet, and then I went and joined the band.
And that song actually is about depression. It's Take the Sunshine, and it's on one of the albums that we did together. So yeah, we just work hard at our music, and it's it's fun.
But I think there's a lot of pressure, isn't there, these days to be successful. You know, Facebook, people posting pictures of themselves, how great my life is. You know, I'm on holiday, I've got a great life. I'm on the beach. So there's a real pressure, I think, more so than there used to be, because everyone's sharing information about how lucky they are and how great their life is.
Yeah. So
Do you share stuff on Facebook about your
well,
we do.
But when we were younger, we used to have to drive round to our friends to show each other our dinner, what we were eating.
Yeah.
But now it's so easy just to take a photograph and just put it on there.
It's true.
That pork pie you posted the other day
wasn't it good? Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, I made
let's
that.
keep talking about Phil. Let's hear from Phil, because we've got about a minute left before we see your performance. Phil, how does the band help you?
Well, this band, it doesn't.
How does it make you feel then? Does it make you happy?
To be honest, I've always played in bands. I started playing when I was about 12, and I was doing the first gigs by the time I was 14. I mean, when you're in young bands, as these are all testified, they can be quite depressing at times on their own, can't they? But as I've sort of grown through it, I mean, most of the things that we do now are fun, basically. And if you ask me whether they've helped me, I really don't know. It's just something that I've always done. Yeah. You know, maybe like a guy.
But you probably avoided a lot of situations and things without realising, like we were saying earlier in the green room.
I think it's had a lot of negatives as well. Don't get me wrong, it stopped me doing various things, but I've always done it because I love it.
And that's the thing, that's the key, isn't it? Doing something that you love. Guys, thank you so much. We're going to see you, we recorded you earlier performing, we're going to see you in action now. As I said, it's great, but thank you so much, and all the best for the future as well.
Thank you.
And that's it for the show today. Thank you for watching, and do tune in on Friday for our medical show. So if you want to know how to look after your health even better and how to avoid certain health issues, please do make sure that you tune in on Friday at 9:30. But now it's time for the performance, and we'll see you again next time on the Chrissy B Show. Bye-bye for now.
Show. 3, get ready. Go, can go. But I am blues with you. Elvis coming home. But I am blues with you. Elvis coming home. Elvis coming
So whistling ducks, do they actually whistle then?
Yeah, they literally whistle. That's why they're called whistling ducks. Yeah.
Yeah, they whistle.
Give a little whistle.
Tell us a bit about this place. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
How are you?
Right, how are you?
And who's this down here? Trying to eat my
Calypso,
jacket.
one of our donkeys.
This is Calypso. Okay.
The younger one. And
She's
Mum's
trying to eat
just
my
behind
back.
2, 1.
Hi, I'm here with Emily from the Golders Hill Park. Oh, hold on a minute. Right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm here. Sorry. She's coming again.
Quick.
Doesn't look like she's crunching it. Oh no, she's...
Okay, don't worry. I like that bit.
What happened?
Okay, let me do my jacket up. She's trying to eat my necklace.
Okay.
You owe me a necklace, young lady.
She's like, oh, make me do.